Hi everyone, this is Disha Dioxide and you're watching CEO Secrets, what made them successful and how we can make it. Today I am here with Pavan Ranga, who is the Director of NR Groups and CEO of Rangsons. Today we will talk about his journey and his experiences. Were you a brilliant student, sir, or were you a backbencher? And when did your turning point towards your success happen?
Actually, I believe I was always brilliant, but I was a backbencher.
Oh, no.
So, I was one of those guys who I believe I was smart, but I never really was a front bencher.
Okay.
And I was never very studious. I didn't study a lot, but I focused on understanding concepts always from when I was very young, whether it is science, mathematics, or whatever else. I was triggered by understanding concepts.
Oh, wonderful. Would you say that's better than, by hearting and all that stuff? Because it's easier to pass exams when you by heart.
That is unfortunately the issue with the Indian education system. The learning is largely repetitive. And so, the system allows you to learn repetitively without understanding concepts and score well. The problem with that is if you get a topper, usually a top ranking student, to be a top ranking student, you just need to be disciplined and hardworking. It doesn't show how smart you are. That's unfortunate, but yeah, that's how it is.
When did the turning point towards your success happen, sir? Since you said you were not very studious, when did you realize I need to do this?
So I think success and studious have nothing to do with each other. You don't have to be studious to be successful. You don't have to be a great student. Some of the greatest entrepreneurs in this world were never good in school.
That is true.
So for me, the thing was that I was very much into sports. And because I was so much into sports, studies was always a secondary thing for me. If I had to pick one moment that was like a turning point, it was the 6th semester in my engineering. I had a number of subjects as backlogs, along with the regular subjects I had to write. And it was time I got serious. So, I actually went back for 12th standard tuitions because I wanted to get serious. And I realized that I need to brush up my fundamentals. So I actually went with 12th standard kids for tuitions along with them. But then I wrote my 6th semester exams, the backlogs and the regular ones. And I came out with flying colors. And 7th and 8th semester, actually, I got distinction. And then did my MBA with honors later. So I would say my 6th semester was like the turning point for me.
How was it studying with 12th grade students?
Well,
was it a unique experience?
It was not just unique, it was humiliating at times, but you got to do what you have to do, right? So I said, look, my priorities are straight now, and I'm going to focus on getting my academics right. So 6th sem engineering was it for me. Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. Since you weren't very studious, I think it will be easy to answer this. How can an average student become a CEO, sir?
Like I said, I think it's difficult for toppers to become CEOs in India. In fact, if you look at the statistics, most CEOs in India of companies were not great students. It's different in the US. Most CEOs in the US were, especially Indian CEOs in the US,
were good at studies.
So it's a very, because to be a successful businessman or an entrepreneur in India, requires you to have a lot many more skills than just knowledge.
Subject knowledge.
You need to know how to work the system. You need to know how to build relationships.
Yes.
You need to be good at a lot of things. So I think every average student out there has an equal chance at becoming a successful businessman.
Wonderful, sir. What is the best advice that someone gave you, sir?
Several, but if I have to pick one which has been most impactful in my life, my father keeps telling me that there's no right or wrong decision in one's life. What's important is that you take a decision and work hard to make it the right one. So this has been a very profound and a powerful piece of advice that I have received. I follow it all my life. The worst thing you can do is not take a decision. And it's very Indian to not take a decision quickly and aggressively, because we have this innate need to make double, triply sure that it is the right decision. And that's a fallacy.
If you could go back in time, sir, and talk to your younger self, would you give the same advice or would you say something different?
You know, I'm the kind of guy who generally doesn't regret anything in life. So while there were a lot of things I could have done in my life, or a lot of things I shouldn't have done in my life, I don't regret it. All those experiences make me who I am, right?
Yes, that is true.
So why would I go and change that? You know, there's always something you can go back and change, but that's not the way I look at life.
That's a very wonderful answer, sir. What is the mistake you see students making today that will affect their careers in the future, sir?
Look, I think the jobs of the future are going to be very entrepreneurial. There will be a lot more empowerment, a lot more decision making at every level of the organization.
Okay.
And I think students of today are not building that ability to be entrepreneurial. We're very focused on marks. We're very focused on, the herd mentality. There's a right thing to do and a wrong thing to do. And I think this is the biggest challenge students face today. Because a lot of the jobs of the past or today will be replaced by automation through artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced automation, robotics, and so on. So most of the jobs that humans or today's kids will have to fulfill tomorrow is going to be intellectual, it's going to be entrepreneurial. And that's, so I advise everybody, all the kids today, build that entrepreneurial spirit, ability to take risk, go outside of the box, try new things, don't be afraid to fail. These are more important than building subjective knowledge alone. So that would be my advice.
Wonderful.